welcome to the Energy Storage Market Series. My name is Kyle Pease, and I'm a Sales and Design Engineer here at RENVU. Today, we're going to be hearing from Zach Kieran, the Product Marketing Manager, about their latest options over at Growatt. Before we dive in, and while we're waiting for more people to join, I'd like to give a quick little background on RENVU, as well as some of the services and products we offer. RENVU is a US-based solar equipment distributor. We've been in the industry for over a decade, and we currently have fulfillment facilities in California, New Jersey, and Texas. Our sales staff all have technical backgrounds within solar and or engineering to provide you with the best sales service. So a few products quickly to spotlight here, and we'll share links in the chat. There's $100 gift card or $100 off for Growatt min inverters, and then there's a $250 gift card for Growatt min inverters paired with their ARO batteries. We also have a range of discounts on home grid batteries up to $600 off 38.4 kilowatt hour stack. Enphase IQ batteries are on sale now. The 10T is $59.83. Q cells ESS consisting of an inverter, an ATS, and I think 18.9 kilowatt hours of battery, all together for $88.98, and a $250 gift card on Lumen smart panels. We also have Canadian solar 395s down to 38 cents per watt when purchasing with a system. So email us at info@renvu.com or see our webinar follow-up email with more info on those. And here's our commercial price list for large volume options and our upcoming offerings on solar modules, as well as our inverters and balance of system. We're going to share a link to in the chat to this page. It's a good one to bookmark if you're an installer looking to re-up your inventory, or you have a large commercial project in the pipeline. We update it regularly so you can stay up to date with our latest deals for bulk orders. And I'm actually going to jump over, to our page here. Excuse me for a moment while I just lost my page. Just give me a moment here, and I'm going to bring up our website. And okay, cool. There we go. So the bulk price list right here. All right, sorry about that hiccup, guys. So this link that we're sharing, you can see different panel options. You can click on the fourth column over for the data sheets, and you can see the price tiers and the packing configuration on the right-hand side. There's a tab here. The second tab shows all of the inverter, microinverter, energy storage options we have on the table at any given moment. So definitely check that out if you're interested in some of those bulk options. Now I'm going to jump over to our website. We're going to share a link in the chat to this as well. One of my favorite things about working with RENVU is updating and refining this solar design and quote tool. So I'm going to show you guys how to use that real quick. Just a reminder, make sure you're logged in. If you're not logged, don't have an account, it just takes a minute. We basically just need a zip code and an email address to get in touch with you and make shipping estimates. So once you're logged in, this enables the pricing to show in the design tool. You can click anywhere on the start page on the solar design quote tool to load that tool. The start page here, you can select between a full system or a subset thereof. If you have inverters, for instance, you can deselect those and just get the panels and racking. For this instance, I'm going to show the full system. First off, once we're logged in, we'll have the it takes a little minute for the database to synchronize, but in just a moment here, it's going to show the dollar amount and then the dollar per watt for the module. And that's a really nice metric to compare cost between different module wattages and sizes. It's a nice way to see what might be the most cost effective for your project and your criteria. So you can make a selection there. And then once we've selected our module, we move on to racking. And there's 4 primary racking category options: pitched roof, flat roof, carport, and ground mount. And then there's some subtypes under each of those options. For pitched roof, we have comp shingle, Spanish tile, flat tile, and metal roof. Under flat roof, we have the ballasted and penetration style. We're also going to add in, I think, an adhesive racking and also some metal roof options under the flat roof as well. So that's getting upgraded pretty soon. For carports, it's kind of cool. We have these Blicker 2-car carports. Right now, it's only just a single car. I'm showing right now, you can click on any of the items that pop up on this left-hand side, and you won't lose your spot. You'll just be able to open another page to read more about that specific item. Down at the bottom here, you'll see documents for the warranty and installation manual and things like that. That'll help you learn as you go through our tool. And then the final option would be a ground mount, which we can provide iron ridge or power field racking. So there's lots of options there. And we're gonna, for this demonstration, just stick with, we're gonna have the comp shingle pitched roof, and I'll just leave it at 5 rows of 4, sure. And those are all in portrait. Portrait's gonna be most cost effective for racking to be in. And then there is a little thing I want to note here. We did just add the Halo Ultra Grips. So if you're familiar or interested with those, they're pretty slick for being able to do installs nice and quick up on those comp shingle roofs. Finding those rafters isn't as much of a headache. And then if you have a black on black panel, it's a good idea to switch those clamp colors to black. And if you have a view of the underside, depending on where it's positioned, you can also switch the rails to black too, and then select your rail duty. R100 is standard duty, which will cover most places. And it gives you a nice little sketch of the array after that. And then we'll move on to the inverters. There's a few sub options: microinverters, string inverters, and optimizers, kind of a subcategory of string inverters, but we made it simple and to get to adding it up at the top there. Default to end phase IQ8 microinverters for these Tailsun 400s. It'll give you the DC to AC wattage ratio here for each of the options. Installers for commercial projects are like in these QT2s, so that's something to keep an eye out for. Lots of options under microinverters. If we jump over to string inverters, of course, we have Growatt, and if we add their battery backup, we can select a 7.6 kilowatt hour. Their hybrid inverter there, that would be basically a fully loaded 200 amp panel, and their 9.9 kilowatt hour ARO battery. We could then compare costs for that versus some other options to see what would make the most sense for us. Also, rapid shutdown is on this page too. If it's going on an inhabited dwelling roof, then you'll need to have rapid shutdown, and while you're at it, you might as well add optimizers if you can do it. It's all in one unit that needs to go on each module to be able to shut it down. So yeah, depending on your project, you may or may not need these. If you're putting these on the roof of your house in the US, you will need it as a minimum, just a standard rapid shutdown. And then the optimizers provide mitigation for shading concerns on the array. If your array has partial shading, these can help alleviate that, similar to microinverters. Okay, and then on the final page, we give an option to add spare panels. It's really handy to have a few spare panels if, say, the worst case happens and you have a hailstorm or a tree limb falls and smashes a panel. It's really nice to be able to just have a drop-in replacement rather than searching around a few years in advance down the road trying to find a module. The module supply is changing so much every year that it does make finding replacements challenging. There's options also for balance of system, labels, Lumen Smart Panel, and EV chargers. You can have option to add those all in there. Once you made your selections, hit finish. It'll just give you a little review of what you selected. Then when you hit generate and check the disclaimers there. We are just a solar distributor. This isn't an engineered design of parts at this point. It's just a collection of parts recommended for the system. But we do have a permitting partner that we can suggest you to as well. When you hit submit, this emails you a PDF copy of the quote, and then over here in quotes, second here, you can actually see the quote you generated, and you can edit it. If you click on it here, you can make some changes to it. Send us an email if you want us to review the quote for availability of any of the parts, or if you have any technical questions, that's what we're here for. And if you do need permitting, we do have permit plan and design services with our, let's see if I can get, yeah, there we go, Illumini. So that's our partner for permitting plans. They're pretty darn quick at generating residential plans that I've been real familiar working with them on. And they also offer some commercial and other options there as well. They can also do PE stamps for structural, electrical if you need it. They're real reasonably priced. So I do recommend them, and that's enough about our website and the design tool. I'm going to jump over, let's see, hit our slideshow. There we go. All right. So if you have any questions about these products or about Growatt while Zach is presenting, please feel free to ask in the Q&A section, and we'll get to the questions at the end of the webinar during that Q&A session. You can also email our sales team at info@renvu.com for more information and pricing. This webinar is being recorded, and we will send you a follow-up email with that recording. We also have recordings of our previous webinars on the RENVU YouTube channel. And without further ado, I'll hand it over to Zachary. Thanks, Zachary, for your patience there.
Kyle, thank you very much. I really like the online design tool. It's very nice. Seems very comprehensive.
Yeah, let me, I'm having trouble with my sharing here. Let me figure out how to exit the sharing. Oh, there it is. Stop share. All right, there you are.
Excellent. So Kyle, you can see my screen?
Yeah, it looks great.
Very good. I appreciate your introduction. So my name is Zachary Kieran, and I'm here today to present the Growatt US battery ready solution, mainly to help innovate your customers' residential energy management and your energy management for these installers as well. So without further ado, the contents of this webinar will be, we're going to be discussing the business focus and the achievements of our organization, the Growatt organization, our role in the fight against climate change, and of course, the features of our residential battery-ready inverter, the flexibility of our battery-ready products, such as the APX and the ARO battery, the charge and discharge process for on-grid and off-grid mode, and the implementation of our backup accessories and the generator access. So let's start to talk about kind of who we are at Growatt. So Growatt provides a wide range of products and solutions, including PV inverters, batteries for energy storage, EV chargers, and smart energy management. So here at Growatt, we are dedicated to the research and development of products which will eliminate the customer's reliance on fossil fuels to power their everyday needs. So over the past 4 years, we've expanded our organization around the globe and achieved a very fast growth with a compound annual growth rate at over 92% between 2019 and 2022. In the coming years, we really expect the solar and energy storage market to flourish. And with our technological strengths and our research and development team, we'll be able to seize those market opportunities and have strong business growth to continue expanding and developing new technologies that will power the world. We have over 1.9 million cloud users, 3.1 million annual inverter production capacity, over 180 countries with our products installed, and we continue to invest in the development of the products that we offer. So our advanced manufacturing center is located in Huizhou, China, features an annual production capacity of over 3 million inverters and 400,000 battery modules. We are not some of those suppliers that are short on stock, have problems with the supply chain. We're ready to go. We have product readily available. Growatt's 5-step quality control system is applied to all areas of our engineering team, including manufacturing, research and development, and technical support. So at Growatt, we are dedicated to providing top quality in our products, and we continue to dedicate resources to the reliability of the products that we are offering. We have attained very prestigious accolades with our experience in this industry. We are the #1 residential inverter supplier globally, also the top 4 PV inverter supplier, and the top 4 hybrid inverter supplier. So here's a photo of our booth at the Intersolar show in Europe. The event was a major success in the European market. So be sure to come check out our booth at RE Plus or SPI in September. Our booth number is 3730. We'll have engaging speeches on our products, and you can tour each of our products in person to gain valuable insight into the new generation of inverters and manufacturing methods. We really can't wait to see you there. Again, our products have been installed in over 180 countries worldwide. So in order to provide fast product delivery, efficient customer service, and technical support, Growatt has established an extensive network with over 41 offices and warehouses globally. We are expanding our global operations quickly to support our customer base in the clean and portable energy power industry. So here are just a few major milestones that we have achieved with our experience in this industry. We were founded in 2011 and began to quickly establish award-winning inverters and energy storage products. And we even expanded to other areas of the energy storage industry with our Red Dot award-winning portable power stations. In 2021, we became the world's #1 residential inverter supplier, according to Frost & Sullivan. The growth of our organization could not have been done without our ambitious vision and our organization motto, and that is to build the world's largest, intelligent, yet sustainable energy ecosystem for humankind. So why is this vision and our motto so important? What is changing in the energy sector that is causing the products we produce to become desirable? Well, scientists at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration have measured the global temperature average for over 100 years and found astonishing results, but not results that we're not used to in this industry. Of course, the world is heating up. Greenhouse gases are largely to blame for the change in observed temperatures. The impacts of climate change are apparent, and we at Growatt want to implement a solution quickly. And our goal is to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050. According to the US Bureau of Labor, the cost of energy per kilowatt hour is increasing year over year, with a 76% increase occurring in the last 18 years. Bloomberg NEF, a strategic research provider covering global markets, saw a decrease in levelized cost of energy for PV systems. A nearly 80% decrease was found compared to just 10 years ago. So to summarize, the cost of electricity is going up rapidly, and the cost to own a PV and battery storage system is going down rapidly. And charts like these really show the benefits of going solar today. So without any more further coverage of this organization, let's discuss our groundbreaking and the industry-shaking residential PV inverter. This is the MIN-TL-XH-US. This is our flagship battery-ready residential inverter. The MIN has a sleek, streamlined footprint and was designed with aesthetics in mind. Contrary to a lot of the market, the MIN is really nice looking on the side of our customers' homes. The product comes in a wide variety of power class options ranging from 3 kilowatts to 11.4 kilowatts and is battery ready for reliable and efficient DC coupling. The product has built-in production and PV string monitoring, is very easy to install, and features a 10-year warranty, which can be extended to 20 years to follow the life of the PV array. Of course, the product can be installed and commissioned in as little as 15 minutes to save installers resources during many product installations. And it can be installed either indoors or outdoors according to our NEMA 4X rating. The MIN features a whole home backup solution with our SYN microgrid product, supports critical load backup with our automatic transfer switch, supports 2017 module level shutdown with either a TIGO or an AP Smart transmitter built inside. Depending on the model that you have, the inverter could feature up to 4 maximum power point trackers and features black start operation during grid outages when used with the battery storage system. We are offering as many features in this product as we could possibly jam into an inverter, and we are still updating and creating new ways to utilize this inverter for the market. The MIN TL XH inverter is fully certified with the North American market. The MIN has been certified with Intertech for IEEE 1547-2018 and IEEE 1547.1 2020 for the Hawaiian electric grid. We are certified in both supplements of the UL 1741 standard, SA, and SB. We are also compliant with Rule 21 of California, NEC 690.11, the AFCI requirements, and NEC 690.12, rapid shutdown compliance. The MIN inverter can be installed in harsh environments and operate in temperatures from -13 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Can be installed at altitudes up to 9,850 feet and can be installed in 100% humid environments. It can be installed indoors or outdoors with corrosion resistance, thanks to the NEMA 4X rating. The research and development team understood the needs of the North American market, the US, and tailored this inverter to meet those needs. The MIN inverter is really redefining flexibility in the PV system design market and can save resources for your design teams. The product features a very low startup voltage of just 50 volts per MPPT tracker, or just 2 solar modules to actually start up the maximum power point tracking algorithm. Depending on the model, the MIN inverter features up to 4 maximum power point trackers to fit very complicated roofing structures and support an adaptable variety of potential system designs. This could include something like extra PV systems on the garage or the shed, away from the main array, differing azimuth and module orientations, even different module brands, all connected to separate MPPT trackers, of course, and complex shading scenarios where we will place all of the shaded array portions of the array onto one MPPT tracker and create better yields thanks to the amount of maximum power point trackers we have. The product is a very impressive 200% maximum DC to AC ratio for maximum PV modules per square foot of roof without the need for expensive and time-consuming load center upgrades. A 10 kilowatt inverter can be used with a 20 kilowatt array to oversize the inverter and begin to produce peak energy quickly in the morning. We are proud of our 98% peak efficiency and designed this product to increase the yield for this customer. So the inverter features the rapid shutdown compliance. Again, this could be either with an AP Smart or a TIGO transmitter built inside the inverter, depending on the device you order. Rapid shutdown initiator button is also included with the inverter. This is something that is just plugged into the inverter and allows for an emergency stop and a rapid shutdown initiation. We all know how the rapid shutdown transmitter works. It features the heartbeat signal, and that is implemented onto the DC lines of the array. The rapid shutdown solution will pick up the heartbeat signal and continue normal operation until that heartbeat signal is no longer present, in which case the TIGO or the AP Smart rapid shutdown device will stop sending the voltage down to the inverter. So the inverter is compatible with the Tigo TS4AF and the TS4AF or the A2F. So either the single module or the dual module optimizer. The inverter is also compatible with the AP Smart RSD-S PLC and the RSD-D PLC. So either the single module or the dual module rapid shutdown device. Really trying to get as many devices ready to go with this inverter as possible, trying to make sure that this is a complete solution for your customers. The MIN battery-ready inverter can be installed in as little as 15 minutes, and it can be installed as PV only, and then upgraded to a battery storage system at a later date. So that's thanks to the easy plug-and-play solution of the battery connections. This will reduce the initial cost of investment and offers customers flexibility in their initial system designs. Lastly, the inverter can be upgraded with Growatt accessory products, which we will discuss in later slides. With the MIN inverter, your customers will be thinking about the lightning fast installation and the plug-and-play energy storage adaptability, creating an intelligent approach to adaptive system design. Again, we're trying to reduce the initial investment that the customers might want to make at the first onset of the system, and then give them those options to create an energy storage system at a later date, depending on how much the customer would like to invest in their energy storage system right off the bat. That's a little bit about the inverter. We'll talk a little bit more about it as we go along. I'd like to introduce now our flexible battery capacity and products. So at Growatt, we have all heard, well, first of all, we have all heard of the recall on other battery products and issues with thermal runaway with other battery manufacturers. Growatt has understood the issues with the nickel, magnesium, cobalt batteries and was really sure to only utilize the most viable chemistries for our product. Lithium ion phosphate batteries are simply safer, they're more renewable in manufacturing methods, they're highly recyclable. I saw a couple of other companies that were recycling these batteries and doing some interesting things with recycled lithium ion phosphate batteries. And they're also able to be repurposed. And the materials, lastly, can be mined anywhere, leading to ethical manufacturing processes. We do not feature any cobalt in our battery products. Again, this is leading to safer and more ethical manufacturing. So the question that I have is what would you want on your own home? The highly robust and the less degradable lithium ion phosphate, or the dirty and kind of unsafe nickel magnesium cobalt counterpart? So we'll start out with the ARO high voltage battery. The ARO high voltage battery is suited for the MIN US inverter. It features flexible capacity options between 3.3 kilowatt hours to 9.9 kilowatt hours for a single battery cabinet, and can be operated in parallel with multiple ARO battery cabinets to increase the capacity up to 39.6 kilowatt hours. With a single ARO battery, the discharge power is 5 kilowatts in off-grid mode, but can be expanded to discharge up to 10 kilowatts to support the customer load during those grid outages. The chemistry of the battery, again, is that safe and reliable lithium ion phosphate with a cycle life greater than 6,000 battery cycles. Fits well with that 10-year warranty with the battery as well. The ARO battery also features a very impressive 90% depth of discharge. This is perfect for customers as they can utilize a greater percentage of their battery capacity at any given time. The battery is NEMA 4X rated, features a wide working temperature range from 14 degrees Fahrenheit to 122 degrees Fahrenheit, and is quietly cooled through convection. I didn't mention this about the MIN inverter. It is also cooled through convection. It's very quiet when it's in operation, and there's really no noise to the inverters. There's no moving parts here. When paired with the MIN inverter, your entire system warranty is covered by one single manufacturer, Growatt, to eliminate the confusion of dealing with multiple warranty periods, tech support agencies, and multiple manufacturers. When you're utilizing one single manufacturer, you are guaranteed support for the entire system. Here we can see the interface of the ARO high voltage battery cabinet. The product is a built-in DC disconnect switch to mitigate those installation costs and is plug and play ready with the Growatt inverter. The left side of the wiring box connects the DC power and communications to the inverter, and the right side of the wiring box allows for that battery expansion. The picture on the right kind of shows how the battery modules are implemented into the battery pack. So up to 3 battery modules may fit inside of the high voltage or the ARO high voltage battery cabinet. So there'll be one main module on the top and then 2 secondary modules on the bottom. Up to 3 of those modules makes 9.9 kilowatt hours at 3.3 kilowatt hours capacity for one single module. It's very easy to install as well. The 2 ARO high voltage battery packs may be implemented in parallel in the picture shown on the left, right? So the inverter features 2 battery input terminals, and that allows for 2 separate ARO battery packs to interface with the MIN inverter to increase your capacity up to 19.8 kilowatt hours, as well as increase the output power up to 10 kilowatts. Next, on the right side of this screen, we also have a way of increasing the capacity up to 39.6 kilowatt hours. And this is used with the main battery. So I can kind of point on my screen here. This is the main battery. We'll have the 3 battery modules implemented as shown. And then included with the battery pack is the power module. This is the DC to DC converter used for interfacing with the MIN. Now, the expansion cabinet does not feature a power module, but allows for the parallel operation of 2 battery systems plugged into one input of the inverter. This allows the output power to go to 10 kilowatts when shown in this system here, and the capacity up to 39.6 kilowatt hours. So really, we're trying to make this product as flexible as possible. We're giving you the most opportunity to be flexible in your system design and your system capacity as well. So that's a little bit about the ARO battery pack. Let's talk about the APX battery. I really like the APX battery a lot. This is very new from Growatt. I want to be a little more transparent on this, though. The flexible capacity options from 5 kilowatt hours to 30 kilowatt hours. This has changed recently. So this modular battery is set to be released within this month. So be sure to reach out to RENVU to check for the availability. It features a modular design to stack the battery capacity up to 30 kilowatt hours and the maximum discharge power up to 10 kilowatts. The modular design of this battery makes installation a true breeze and allows for greater flexibility for your customer system. The APX battery can be installed from floor to ceiling in one single battery cluster to save space on the wall, or it can be divided into multiple battery clusters. As we can see in this picture here, it's possible to have 2 battery clusters with the one, this is the main battery module optimizer. So this is the what's handling all of the interfacing with the inverter. And then you can install that floor to ceiling, or you can split it into 2 separate clusters as shown. This battery is also NEMA 4X rated. This can be done for indoor and outdoor use. What's very important about this battery is this one is also UL 9540A certified. So this is going to provide the greatest level of safety and dependability. The most important feature of this battery pack is the modular energy optimization function. This allows a long life cycle and a better expandability later on in the system's life. The APX battery can support automatic balancing of the battery packs for use with packs of different state of charge, state of health, even years of use. So, and of course, this battery is also naturally cooled, utilizing natural convection cooling. Again, all of our systems are very quiet, very easy on the ears. So I'm going to delve into the modular energy optimization function a little bit more. When the battery is charging, the power module intelligently determines the state of health and the state of charge of each battery pack and delivers the optimal charging power to each. Charging power as well as discharging power. The power module will never overcharge an older battery pack, which allows for more battery packs to be added to the system over the course of its operation. During discharge, the power module intelligently controls the rate of discharge from each battery pack to evenly discharge based on that state of health and the state of charge. Innovative features like these are truly showing why Growatt is one of the best choices for your energy storage solution. The quick installation guide is also now available on our website, so please give it a read, see how easy it is to install this battery. I'll show you the website a little bit later on in this presentation, but you can see here just exactly how this is working. So each battery is contributing the set amount, allowing for these to discharge a little bit more evenly. As well, later on in the system's life, we can add and increase the capacity of the system. We can mix these older packs and the newer packs together and allow the system to work normally. So the hybrid functionality of the MIN device is proven to maximize your customer's self-reliance on stored renewable energies. Charging with the battery with solar energy during the day and discharging to the customer loads during the night is the default setting of the inverter, the maximize self-consumption mode. This is allowing your customers to rely solely on the renewable energies and the system that they paid for. This is the most important part of the modes that we are offering. Maximize self-consumption is very, very important. The MIN also has zero export or export limitation applications. So when zero export features are being used, the battery is charged with the clipped solar energy that normally would have been exported to the grid. For this type of system, you will also need to procure a Growatt smart meter. This is to make sure the inverter is sensing exactly how much energy it needs to produce to supply to the customer's load, and then not produce any more energy to export to the grid. So we're trying to avoid feeding any energy back to the grid, and the Growatt smart meter also gives your customers access to their consumption data. The last main method is the time of use arbitrage. So we're able to charge the battery with surplus solar energy and avoid importing energy during the peak pricing hours. This is especially applicable in like California, some states in New England. So we're able to set multiple different time of use functions for the battery, many different charge, discharge functions. We'll delve into that a little bit more in the next slide here. So we're going to put all of these products together. We're going to see how the energy is stored, discharged from battery to the inverter, how many different modes you can use this inverter for. We're really going to highlight the flexibility of this product. We're also going to highlight the flexibility of the customer's dependence on their renewable energies. As we discussed earlier, the MIN has a 2.0 DC to AC ratio. So a 10 kilowatt inverter can accept a 20 kilowatt array to maximize the usage of space on the roof. So while PV production is at 20 kilowatts, the 10 kilowatt inverter is able to output its full power to the load center of the home and also charge the battery with an additional 10 kilowatts of power. This is really exceptional, as your customers can charge the battery, be self-consuming, and sell energy back to the grid all at the same time. We will talk more about the backup functions very soon, but the grid is not totally necessary for the operation of these functions. Again, we also have the zero export configurable mode. This is allowing the inverter to charge the battery, provide power to the load, yet not export any energy to the grid. Again, the smart meter will be needed for this function. Yes, and of course, we'll talk more about the ATS and the SYN devices a little bit more in some other slides here. But first, I'd like to mention the pre-PTO mode. This is another really nice feature that we've implemented. The MIN inverter has a pre-PTO function to allow the inverter and battery system to be installed before the interconnection approval was granted by the utility. In the pre-PTO mode, the battery is charged with solar energy and does not discharge until the setting is turned off. The feature allows the battery to be fully charged for when the permission to operate is granted from the utility and enables the technicians to be sure that everything is in proper working order to begin that interconnection. The pre-PTO function can be remotely disabled once the interconnection permission is granted by the utility, allowing your teams to immediately start the operation of the inverter and impress the customer with really timely service. So this is all done within our applications, within our monitoring applications. You'll be able to install this system, click on the pre-PTO button, allow the inverter, everything to start up, but it will not discharge any energy to the main panel. It will only charge the battery with the solar energy. And then later on down the road, when the PTO has been granted, we'll turn that function off. The inverter is ready to go. So once PTO has been granted by the utility, the inverter can begin its normal operating procedures. Here we can see how the different work modes of the inverter are handling the exportation of energy. The maximize self-consumption mode ensures full support for the user's loads and charges the battery with clipped solar energy during peak PV array production. This allows the battery to discharge when the PV production is insufficient or not present to power the user's loads. And this is turned on by default. So this is the default setting of the inverter and the battery. These images, these graphics here, they kind of show how the load consumption is prioritized. Battery charging occurs when the load demand has been met by the solar production, and exportation to the grid begins only after the loads have been powered. During the night, consumption is handled by the battery first, and energy is only imported from the grid once the state of charge of the battery has reached its critical level. Good. I hope those slides are working properly there. The time of use charge is the next mode, and this is also very important. Again, very important for California, some states in New England. The time of use charge and discharge mode ensures that energy is provided to the loads first. If needed, energy will be imported from the grid at a configurable time to charge the battery. This might be one of the lower use functions, the time of use charge, but time of use discharge, the energy for the loads is ensured first, then the PV production or stored battery energy can be exported to the grid at certain times that have been delegated by the customer. The time of use charge and discharge mode is important for time of use pricing structures present in many states around the US. Energy can be exported during peak exportation compensation rates to maximize the return of investment on the PV and the energy storage system. The charge and discharge period can be configured by weekday, it can be configured by weekends, and by the month, with a total of 9 time of use periods to configure through the year. And here's kind of an example of how this will really fits into like the California market or those markets that have the time of use function, time of use pricing. So here on this gray line, we can see the pricing structure. This is how much the utility is going to be paying you for the exported solar energy. And then, so we can see in the middle of the day here, the lowest compensation rates. You won't be getting very much energy for the exported, or you won't be getting very much compensation for the exported energy. but we really want to discharge the battery at this time here, providing a better return on investment for the customer, right? So this is really important under the NEM 3.0 standard, things of that nature. In this particular graphic, I've configured the battery to discharge roughly about 700 watts, I think this is 1 kilowatt hour during this peak pricing time. This is really going to allow you to capture the most profits for your customer. This is all set up in the Shine Tools app. We'll discuss this a little bit more, but here's a little bit about the settings that you can set. Charge power, battery's charge stop, discharge power ratio, of course, battery mode settings as well. So to kind of put all this together, the self-consumption mode is the default mode. It's allowing that charging to occur to charge the battery, not export as much to the grid, and then discharge the battery for times when the customer needs. This is the self-consumption mode. We discussed the time of use charging and discharging. Again, the discharging is the most important. We can set the charging time as well. The battery can be set to charge either from the AC or strictly from the solar production. The backup mode we're going to discuss next. The backup utilizes the battery only for backup, only for the grid failure. There's some different settings that we can set in the inverter to ensure that this is happening, and the backup mode needs to be enabled for utilization of the backup features. We'll discuss that in a minute. And of course, we all know what zero export is. We're just trying to only utilize our PV energy for ourselves and not export any to the grid. Lastly, I'm going to discuss a little bit about our whole home and our critical load backup solutions. First, we have the APX 5000 or 11400. So this is a 10-year warranty device, features natural convection and an operation temperature between -13 and 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Like all of our other products, it's NEMA 4X rated, it's dust-proof, and it's waterproof. The on-off-grid mode switch time is 500 milliseconds, and depending on the device you have, it can provide up to 5,000 watts of backup power or 11,400 watts of backup power. The ATS features a built-in split-phase transformer for 120 volt loads and can handle a phase imbalance up to 3,000 watts. So this device interfaces with the MIN inverter. We're going to discuss a little bit more about how this is important. So this MIN inverter is what I would refer to as the V2 model. Okay, this is how we refer to it as Growatt. This is supporting the ATS. This is the V2 inverter. It features a grid output and also a load output. So this is used for critical load backup for internet communications, freezers and refrigerators, even well pumps, up to 5 kilowatts or 11.4 kilowatts of backup power, and provides split phase loads, power to the loads. Okay, so the operation of this, again, you need to have the smart meter in order to interface properly with the ATS device. And essentially when the grid goes down, the inverter will sense this, switch over to only powering the load on the backup line, and then power the sub panel, the critical loads, with the energy from the PV array and the battery as well. During normal on-grid operation, the grid can also supply power to the critical loads, to the main panel, charge the battery. Everything is normal, but when the grid goes down, the inverter switches its backup function, only powering the backup ATS here. So that was the ATS device interfaceable with the V2 model of the inverter. That is for critical load backup. However, we also have this device. It is the SYN. It is our solution for whole home backup and interfaces with the V3 model of the MIN inverter. The V3 model does not feature the secondary load backup. It only features the grid output, which is making things a little bit more simple for the customer. But the SYN is a microgrid interconnection device to support the whole home backup and continue to operate the inverter during grid outages. The product has a less than 500 millisecond switchover time. It is service entrance rated with a built-in 200 amp grid side breaker and has a split phase transformer to power 120 volt loads as well. Handles the same phase imbalance of a 3000 watts, but the SYN can be utilized with the feeder conductors of the home and features that integrated 200 amp breaker. This is very important. So it is service entrance rated. The feeder wires can be put directly to the SYN. And we'll show you a little bit more about how we're kind of working together in the next few slides. But the application of this device, we're trying to pack as many features into this as possible. So we also feature diesel, propane, diesel, gasoline generator input, remote wake up and control function of that generator. So 2-wire start stop will automatically turn on the generator in certain applications, which we'll discuss. And it supports 3 working modes: off-grid mode. So when the grid goes down, the whole home is still able to be powered by solar energy, of course, solar energy, generator energy, and the battery energy as well. So here's a little bit about how our work modes are going in backup. So first, the priority is from the solar array. We'll charge the battery. So it can charge the battery as well as power the loads. And then this is normal working mode. So everything is working as normal, allowing the grid to maybe do some work as well. But in this case of a blackout or no grid scenario, the solar energy can charge the battery and the battery can discharge to the customer load. And this is all occurring with the SYN device. We have a couple different modes for solar backup. The one, I would say the more important mode, this is something that you might set for customers who have their battery, right? But they only want to use the battery for backup. This is called solar only backup mode. So solar only backup allows the battery to stay charged at 100% and only charges from solar energy. The grid will supply energy to the load when the solar energy cannot charge the battery and power the load at the same time. In the event of a grid outage, the battery provides energy to the home until the state of charge reaches a minimum reserve. So this is one option utilized for keeping the battery ready to go in the case of a grid outage. There's multiple different ways to also interface with this. This is just one normal way. This would only be used for those, again, that only want to keep their battery on reserve. But we can also set the system up so the battery works as normal. It's only charged, but it's only charged from the clipped solar energy. So the battery will remain at 60% per se, charge only from the clipped energy, and then it is also ready for the backup. This is one option for those who want to utilize their battery as normal, but also utilize have it ready for backup features. Okay, so kind of putting everything together, this is how the system is laid out with the SYN device. Remember, this is a V3 model inverter, and the SYN will connect to the main panel. It has a breaker for the main panel, but it also has the breaker for the grid and a separate generator input. So when there is a blackout scenario, the customers could do 2 options. If they have a generator that supports 2-wire start stop, that is the most ideal, right? So the generator is automatically turned on by the SYN device. Then this happens when, okay, so we have a blackout scenario, right? We have no grid. When the battery has reached a set state of charge, the customer may want to turn their generator on. So it's done automatically once the state of charge of the battery has reached the set limit. That is like maybe 5-10% or 10-20%. We'll turn the generator on and begin charging the battery as well as providing the home load. Okay. Another way to do this is for the customer to manually start the generator. This would be for a little bit cheaper of a generator. Probably more applications will be utilizing the manual mode, but the customer just have to go out there, turn on the generator, set it up within the app. Again, this is just a recommendation from our end, but the generator can only be activated when there is an outage, but the power of the generator should be about twice that of the inverter. The reason for this, the generator, we want to charge the battery and also supply the main AC panel with energy. So we're trying to supply the load as well as the battery charging. It doesn't have to be sized this way. This is the most ideal application. This allows this generator to charge the battery, power the home loads, everybody's happy. Lastly, this is just a little bit about how this system is introduced. We have the generator, load center, MIN. Take a picture of this. This is kind of how the system would be set up. So the last portion of this slideshow, why are we using the Growatt solution? What do we offer you after you've purchased the inverter, after everything is set up? What are we still offering you? Well, we're offering you the Shine Phone and Shine Server application for portals to view the customer's inverter production and load consumption data. So the Shine Phone and the Shine Server, these are going to be the customer's monitoring portals. The Shine Phone app is available on Google Play and the iOS store, while the Shine Server is a browser-based application. So this is going to allow customers with a computer to just go ahead and monitor their data. The Wi-Fi communication is simple to set up. It can be set up on a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi band, or using 4G communication, which comes standard for some min inverters. So the 4G communication would be purchased separately, but we'll explain a little bit more about that too. The 4G application allows the inverter to have a redundant method of sending data. This is very important because if the customer changes their Wi-Fi password, if they change out their router, do anything like this, and they lose communication with the inverter, it's not going to be affected if the customer had the 4G model. This way, when the Wi-Fi is lost, the 4G model switches over, only communicates via telecommunications, and this allows for redundancy. Lastly, I'm going to discuss a little bit about our Shine Tools application. It's our easy inverter and our EMS commissioning and setup application. So this is connected to the inverter. So you'll have this available on your phone or your computer, mostly your phone. So this will be available on your phone. You'll connect to the inverter's access point and start beginning to upgrade the inverter's firmware, configure the generator, handle some O&M applications as well, such as IV scan analysis and things of that nature, as well as do all of the normal commissioning and setup of the inverter right there on your phone. I highly recommend you to download the two applications. So the Shine Phone has a demo. You can go ahead, scan the QR code. It'll download the Shine Phone application, allows you to tour it a little bit. The Shine Tools you can also download. If you have any questions about Shine Tools, you'll be able to reach out to Growatt. I'll put those communications at the end. So lastly, we also have the flexible data acquisition. Again, the customer can either handle Wi-Fi or 4G connection, redundancy with fail-safe operations. We also feature an API for customer monitoring platforms and can push and pull data from the Growatt server at the same time. We can also interface via Modbus to a host device, handle some third-party applications as well. Again, the whole system warranty is covered by Growatt. Warranty for the inverter, the battery, and the Growatt accessories, all handled from Growatt's end. Technical support and guidance is available from the whole system with our professional and local service team. We have members in the United States. We have a full set of application engineers, phone help, phone support, email support. These are all things that we're building. We're trying to make sure that we have full support to our customers And I think we're pretty much there now. We are able to handle all of your applications and your calls. And then every portion of the system is covered under the warranty and with technical support. Of course, you'll be shaking a lot more hands. So just to kind of wrap things up, built-in free monitoring of devices is what we offer, 15-minute installation, remote firmware updates, critical load, whole home backup support, and of course, full compliance with the North American market. So if you are generating your own energy from solar, you not only benefit from reliability, savings, security, but also contribute to environmental stability. So please take some time to visit our social media platforms. You'll be able to see our website here. Go ahead, take a picture of all this information. You'll be able to see, you'll be able to get in contact with us at our email addresses, at our phone, and of course, through our social medias as well. Hope to see you there. I really thank you for joining today's webinar with RENVU. I want to thank Kyle for allowing me on today. And if there's any more, so I see there's a few questions in the chat. I don't seem to be able to read them.
Yeah, do we want to go through those now, Zach?
Yeah, let's go through the Q&A section. The presentation is completed there.
Awesome. All right, first up, we have someone who's just installed a Growatt 10 kilowatt TLXH US, and she wants to use EV to back up on her house. Do you guys have a bidirectional EV option in the works there?
Yes, so the EV charger will be as normal implemented into the distribution panel, and with the SYN device, the charging function of the EV charger will be able to back up the house and charge the EV. I didn't mention too much about the EV charger here. Kind of sorry to say that, but maybe in some other presentations or in the very future, we'll be able to discuss a little bit more about our EV charger. There's a lot to it. But yes, the question is right.
Awesome. I guess a follow-up on that. Do you have a timeline for that being available in the US market?
No, I don't have a timeline available to me at this very moment. So right now we're looking at the next month at the very least. That would be about where we're at with the EV charger.
Oh, great to hear. All right, next question up. Does Growatt work with other battery manufacturers?
Yes, we do work with some other battery manufacturers. I don't want to say too much about all of them in this particular one, but we do. One would be like the RENVU Prime, things of that nature.
All right, and can you parallel inverters? Can you make three-phase, for instance?
Yes, you can. So the inverter features a 240 volt output. It can also be set within our app to 208, operating on all three of those phases.
Awesome. And next question, is it compatible with the Tigo TS4-A-0? So that's actually something I can grab here. Those are optimizers, so you will need Tigo's TAP and CCA kit in order to have the monitoring and optimization features of those. Standard Tigo rapid shutdown, you can go direct to as long as the Growatt inverter that you're getting is Tigo transmitter ready, and then you can use Tigo rapid shutdown. If you need Tigo optimizers, you will need a couple extra little components in order for that optimization and monitoring to function. All right, on to the next question. Is the Growatt inverter EMP hardened?
The answer to that question would be it's required by code, of course. The inverter is EMP hardened.
All right, and next up we have, can your system handle the startup current surge of a 2-ton HVAC heat pump, surge up to 30 amps?
That's a very interesting question. So when you're sizing for the home backup, not only do you need to take into account the fact that it can surge up to 30 amps. So I imagine this is referring to like the locked rotor amperage of the HVAC device. So the inverter could handle up to 30 amps I don't have the exact data sheet right here on my hand, but the battery is able to support, there's a surge setting for the inverter and the battery. So it should be able to handle up to 30 amps, but that shouldn't be the LRA rating of the HVAC system. The LRA rating is what you need to really be looking at, because upon startup, it's the HVAC system pulls so much energy.
Yeah, definitely watch out for that surge amperage there. All right, next question. Will the ARO battery be discontinued?
Oh, no. The ARO battery will not be discontinued. The APX is there to support and supplement the flexibility that we offer to the installer, but we will not be discontinuing the RO or the APX, anything like that.
Okay, and then next up we have someone who has the SPF 5000 ES and a Min 10,000. And they are wondering, is there a way to use the Min with a generic 400 volt battery in user mode, not the ARO or LG, similar to how the SPF can work? They have their own 400 volt LFP battery pack. So yeah, they're wanting to know if they can put that maybe a not recognized battery pack into the Min.
It's that would be up for debate, because I'm not too sure what model you'd be talking about, but it doesn't interface with all high voltage lithium ion phosphate battery packs. Primarily, we would recommend that you only utilize the Growatt solution, and that's what I'm going to say here.
Got it. All right. Next question we have is the ARO system able to be mixed with newer battery packs like the APX system?
Oh, yes. So the RO battery does not feature the modular level optimization that is strictly for the APX battery. So
all right. Okay. So next question we have, why wouldn't you want to export energy back to the grid? This is a pretty generic one. There's a lot of scenarios I could see where you'd want to have your battery pack fully charged, whether that's a time of use fee that you're trying to avoid with offset by using the battery at a certain time of day or week. Another case could be you have a storm coming in, or some instance where you want to have that reserve energy in case the power goes out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that pretty well covers that, unless you had anything else to add there, Zach.
I don't have too much to add there. Hawaii, there's some areas in Hawaii, like there's certain programs all over the United States that they require either zero export or only self-reliance. So there's a couple of different ways.
All right, next question. What happens when the battery is charged and there's still excess solar generation in a zero export setup?
Yes, the inverter is curtailing its production. So that energy is basically eaten by the inverter. It's curtailing its production to only produce what is needed from the load.
All right, and next up, in the absence of solar charging, can the inverter use grid to charge?
Yes, it can definitely utilize the grid to charge. There's a setting within our application. There's a Shine Tools app, so that's possible. Mm-hmm.
And last few questions here. Can the inverter be connected to a 120 volt generator, or only a 240 volt generator?
So yes, it's only the 240 volt generator. The 120 volt will provide the phase imbalance wouldn't work with the transformer, so only 240.
Gotcha. All right. Does Growatt do the actual installation, or does a expert or local contractor install and service your systems?
We do not handle the actual installation. We work with distributor companies, and then the distributor companies work with the installers to help them out. The installers are there to install the system.
I guess following up on that, do you have a certified installer type program or any requirements there?
No, so yes, I'm trying to bring this to the US, a certified installer program. I think that'd be a really nice option for Growatt to have. So if there's anybody who's interested in something like this, please email the service team or the sales team. And that way we can get a little bit of a generation of interest in the program so I can implement that.
Yeah, I know
We
a
are
lot of
NABCEP
manufacturers.
we are currently NABCEP certified as well. So if there's any other trainings that your teams may need or anything of that nature, we can provide some NABCEP credits too.
Yeah, and I guess also to follow up on that question, if you guys are looking in general for installers, RENVU ourselves, we don't recommend specific installers, but we do promote a list of NABCEP certified installers. That's going to be your best place. You can punch in your zip code there and get a list of who is certified in your area. And so you can email info@renvu.com if you're looking for a link to that list. Last couple questions. What would the price per kilowatt hour difference be between the ARO and APX system? Do you have a rough percentage of what we're seeing there?
No, I do not have a rough percentage of this. I think Aristotle, you might need to just go ahead and contact our sales departments. They might have a little bit more information about this. The APX has not been officially released to the US yet. Once it is, I think I'll be able to provide you a little bit more information.
Yeah. As soon as we have it up on our website too, you could run a quote with both the different options and see what your cost difference would be there. All right. We've got another customer asking, developing a appliance that requires battery storage. Is there an orientation requirement for the battery?
So orientation requirement.
Yeah, I guess probably for the Apex battery, can it be wall mount or can you rotate it 90 degrees or mount it up on underneath the cabinet or something?
Okay. Yeah. So the Apex battery would only be is floor mount or it's wall mount. Okay. So it can be either or. We don't recommend it be sideways. We can handle maybe a little bit in the future an installation guide for this, but no, it shouldn't be mounted sideways. Neither the RO battery should either. So both of them can be wall mounted or floor mounted. Those are your orientation options.
Perfect. All right, a couple more questions keep pouring in. I'll try and quickly answer the last few, and then we'll have to call it good here. So, relationship between Growatt and RENVU. Growatt's a manufacturer, and RENVU we're a distributor. We work with a lot of different manufacturers, and I believe Growatt works with a lot of different distributors. So, we are taking the moment here to promote both of our companies and our products and services. So, yep, I think that pretty much covers that. Unless you had anything else to add there, Zach.
No, nothing more.
Okay. Who provides implementation quotations, Growatt or RENVU? So, RENVU will provide quotations. As far as implementation, that might be an installer. I'm not quite sure what's meant by that. If you have questions on maybe certain instances of implementing an inverter or ESS system, that could go more towards Growatt on the technical side. If you're looking for quotations, RENVU, we're here ready to handle those inquiries. Last question, but certainly not least, do you need a certification to buy your batteries, or are they available for purchase?
No certificate is needed to buy the batteries. They're available for purchase. You don't have to be a Growatt certified installer or anything of that nature to put them in. We do recommend though that if you are not familiar with battery systems or things of that nature, to please read our user manuals and give us a call at tech support.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. If you guys have further questions on configuration, technical type questions, I think Growatt's going to be great for that. And then if you're looking for quotes and options, availability, RENVU is here to help you guys with that as well. So thank you all for your time. Again, this webinar is recorded. We'll send out a link with a follow-up email with that recording. And yeah, thank you again, Zach, for your time being here.
Kyle, thank you very much for letting me display this presentation. I want to thank everybody for joining today. Hope everybody learned something.
All right, see y'all.
See you, Kyle.